Welcome to our channel's Sunday Showcase. Today, we gather to honor the legendary wrestlers we've lost in recent and past few years. Their profound contributions to the world of wrestling continue to resonate with fans and inspire the next generation. In this video, we'll also share some somber news about AJ Lee, which has touched many hearts. Join us as we celebrate their remarkable legacies through heartfelt tributes and cherished memories. Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us to keep their inspiring stories alive. Sweet Sapphire, born in 1934 and sadly passing away in 1996, was a true gem in the world of professional wrestling. Best known as the lively manager and valet for the iconic Dusty Rhodes, Sapphire brought an extra spark to the wrestling scene in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Her real name was Frances Sapphire McDaniels, but to fans, she was simply a powerhouse of energy and charm. Sapphire first hit the spotlight as part of the American Dream Dusty Rhodes' team, strutting to the ring with him and adding her own flair to his already larger-than-life persona. With her colorful outfits, funky dance moves, and a personality that could light up a stadium, she quickly became a fan favorite. It wasn't long before the dynamic duo of Dusty and Sapphire took over the wrestling world, creating memories that fans still talk about today. What made Sapphire so special wasn't just her role as Dusty's manager, though. It was her knack for connecting with the crowd. She had an undeniable charm that brought fans right into the action, helping blur the lines between the performers and their supporters. Whether she was participating in storylines, feuds, or just being her lively self, Sapphire added a unique touch to every moment, cementing her place in wrestling history. Though she faced the challenges of the ever-changing world of professional wrestling, including the rise of more scripted content, Sapphire didn't back down. She embraced the evolution of the industry and kept her spirit alive, even after her active wrestling career came to an end. Sapphire continued to make appearances, keeping her bond with the fans strong. Davey Boy Smith, known as the British Bulldog, was a famous professional wrestler whose career lasted more than 20 years and left a lasting impact on the wrestling world. Born on September 27, 1962 in Manchester, England, Smith began his wrestling journey in the 1970s. He quickly stood out because of his impressive physique and wrestling skills. After training with some of the best in the business, he made his debut in the late 70s and joined the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, in 1984. Smith became widely known for being part of the tag team the British Bulldogs with his cousin, Tom Billington, the Dynamite Kid. Together, they won the WWF Tag Team Championship and became fan favorites, known for their high-energy matches and unique wrestling style. Smith's charm and athletic talent also helped him succeed as a solo wrestler. One of his most memorable moments came at SummerSlam 1992, when he defeated Bret Hart for the Intercontinental Championship in front of a passionate crowd at Wembley Stadium. Despite facing personal challenges, including struggles with substance abuse, Smith's love for wrestling never wavered. He made a comeback with World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, in the late 1990s, proving that his talent had not faded. Sadly, Davey Boy Smith passed away at just 39 years old due to a heart attack related to his past health problems. His legacy lives on, remembered for his incredible wrestling skills, his contributions to the sport, and his role as an inspiration to many future wrestlers. Doug Furnas, born on December 11, 1959 in Sullivan, Indiana, was a professional wrestler known for his exceptional athleticism and technical prowess. He began his wrestling career in the late 1980s, quickly gaining recognition for his hard work and in-ring capabilities. Furnas's dedication to the sport and his remarkable skills led him to compete in numerous prominent wrestling promotions over the years. Furnas first gained significant attention in the United States Wrestling Association, USWA, where he established himself as a rising talent. He later competed in major American promotions, including the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. However, it was his time in All Japan Pro Wrestling, AJPW, that solidified his reputation. Partnering with Phil LaFon, Furnas formed a highly successful tag team known for their dynamic, high-energy matches. The duo captured several tag team titles, earning respect for their technical skill and teamwork in the ring. Furnas was widely recognized for his unique combination of power moves, agility, and innovative techniques. Throughout his career, he faced many of the top stars in the industry, engaging in memorable rivalries that showcased his versatility and contributions to the evolution of professional wrestling. His performances were characterized by a blend of strength and finesse, which allowed him to stand out in a competitive field. Doug Furnas passed away at the age of 52, leaving behind a legacy as a highly skilled and respected performer. His work ethic, dedication to the craft, and memorable in-ring moments have ensured that he remains a respected figure in professional wrestling history. Classy. Freddy Blassie, born Frederick Kenneth Blassman on February 8, 1918, was a true wrestling legend who became an unforgettable figure in the sport's golden age. Known for his larger-than-life personality, sharp humor, and no-holds-barred style, Blassie earned the nickname The Vampire for his infamous habit of biting opponents and drawing blood during matches. His wrestling journey kicked off in the 1930s and spanned several decades and territories, but it was in the 1950s and 1960s, particularly in Los Angeles and Japan, where Blassie really made his mark. Blassie had a unique flair that captured the attention of fans worldwide, often stirring up controversy with his villainous antics. He headlined some of the biggest events, including high-profile matches against legends like Rikidozan in Japan, where he became infamous for his larger-than-life presence, drawing massive crowds and media buzz. In the 1970s, Blassie shifted gears and transitioned into a manager role with Vince McMahon Sr.'s Worldwide Wrestling Federation, later known as WWE. As a manager, he worked with some of wrestling's most iconic stars, including Hulk Hogan, the Iron Sheik, and magnificent Don Muraco, helping them build their legendary careers. Blassie's influence went beyond the wrestling ring, too. He became a pop culture icon with his memorable catchphrases, like calling fans pencil-necked geeks, and even made appearances in movies and music, including Andy Kaufman's classic My Breakfast with Blassie. When he passed away at 85, the wrestling world lost one of its most colorful characters. But Freddy Blassie's legacy continues to live on, remembered and celebrated by fans and wrestlers alike. Giant Gonzalez, born Jorge Gonzalez on January 31, 1966, was an Argentine wrestler and basketball player, widely known for his remarkable size. Standing at 7 feet 7 inches and weighing around 400 pounds, he was one of the tallest and heaviest wrestlers in history, making him a standout figure in the wrestling world. Gonzalez's wrestling career began in the early 1990s when he joined the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. His imposing size and villainous persona quickly made him a memorable character, often positioned as a major antagonist. He became involved in high-profile feuds with wrestling legends like The Undertaker and Hulk Hogan. One of his most significant moments came during the 1993 Royal Rumble, where he faced off against The Undertaker, further solidifying his role as a formidable presence in the ring. Before turning to wrestling, Gonzalez had a successful career as a basketball player, competing in various leagues, including the Argentine Professional Basketball League. His athleticism and height made the transition to wrestling a natural fit, where he was able to adapt quickly to the physical demands of the sport. However, Gonzalez's time in wrestling was relatively short. He struggled with injuries and the physical toll of the industry, which ultimately led to an early retirement. After leaving the ring, he faced numerous health challenges and passed away at the age of 44. Despite his brief career, Gonzalez left a lasting legacy in professional wrestling, remembered for his incredible size and the impact he had during his time in the ring. His presence remains a significant part of wrestling history, particularly for fans who remember his memorable feuds and larger-than-life persona. Bruiser Brody, born Frank Goodish on June 18, 1946, stands as one of the most iconic figures in the annals of professional wrestling. Renowned for his ferocious brawling style, Brody became an influential force whose legacy continues to resonate within the wrestling world. Rising to prominence during the 1970s and 1980s, Brody's larger-than-life persona, towering 6 feet 8 inches frame, and chaotic high-intensity matches quickly made him a standout in the industry. Wrestling primarily as a heel villain, he garnered a reputation for his brutal, no-holds-barred in-ring style and his steadfast refusal to adhere to the conventional, scripted narratives that defined much of professional wrestling. Brody's career was a global affair, taking him across the United States, Japan, and Puerto Rico, where his larger-than-life presence captivated audiences and cemented his legendary status. His tenure in Japan, particularly with New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan Pro Wrestling, earned him the nickname King Kong Brody. There, he honed his distinctive approach to wrestling, blending visceral brawling with a psychological intensity that distinguished him from his contemporaries. Yet, Brody's career was not without its controversies. His frequent clashes with promoters and his rebellious nature, both in and out of the ring, only enhanced his wild man image, further fueling his mystique. His untimely death at the age of 42, following a tragic backstage altercation in Puerto Rico in 1988, remains one of the most shocking and tragic events in the history of the sport. To this day, Bruiser Brody is remembered not only as a trailblazer in the realm of hardcore wrestling, but also as an indomitable figure whose fearless style and unyielding persona continue to inspire future generations of wrestlers. Daphne, born Shannon Spruill on July 17, 1975, was a true trailblazer in the wrestling world, known for her quirky character and unforgettable style. She may not have been your average wrestler, but that's exactly what made her so special. Tragically, she passed away at the age of 46, but her impact on the industry is something that will never be forgotten. Daphne made a big splash in the late 1990s and early 2000s, especially in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where she became a fan favorite thanks to her wild, larger-than-life persona. A mix of gothic, punk, and pure chaos, her look was as unique as her moves in the ring. She wasn't afraid to stand out, and her distinct character caught the eyes of fans, making her one of the most memorable figures of the time. In WCW, she took on roles in both the cruiserweight and women's divisions, showing just how versatile and electrifying she could be. After leaving WCW, Daphne kept the momentum going in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA, where she really turned up the energy and got even more creative with her wrestling style. Her matches were always packed with excitement, and she cemented her spot as one of the most innovative wrestlers around. Sadly, her life came to a tragic end in 2021, leaving the wrestling world devastated. Her passing was ruled a suicide, sparking an outpouring of love and remembrance from fans and fellow wrestlers alike. Daphne will always be remembered for her bold personality, unforgettable presence, and the mark she left on the wrestling world. Her legacy lives on through the many people she inspired and the fans who still celebrate her contributions to the industry. Chris Candido, born on March 21, 1972, in Edgewater Park, New Jersey, was a talented American professional wrestler who left a lasting impact on the wrestling world. Known for his athleticism, charm, and high-flying wrestling style, Candido quickly gained attention in the early 1990s. He made a name for himself in several wrestling promotions, including the East Coast Wrestling Association, ECWA, and the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he often worked in tag teams. Candido reached new levels of fame in the mid-1990s with Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, where he showcased his skills both as a singles wrestler and as a tag team competitor. He was a key member of the infamous Triple Threat faction, along with Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow. His ability to entertain the crowd and deliver exciting matches made him a fan favorite, and he won the ECW World Tag Team Championship several times, further cementing his place as one of the top stars in the promotion. Besides his time in ECW, Candido also had stints in World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, TNA, where he continued to impress fans with his wrestling abilities and engaging personality. Sadly, Candido's promising career was cut short when he passed away at the age of 43 due to a blood clot after surgery. Despite his untimely death, Chris Candido is remembered not only for his incredible wrestling talent, but also for his vibrant personality and lasting influence on the wrestling community. His contributions to the industry continue to be felt, and he is remembered as one of the most entertaining and charismatic wrestlers of his time. Mike Awesome, born on January 24, 1970, was an American professional wrestler widely recognized for his time in Extreme Championship Wrestling, ECW, and the World Wrestling Federation, WWF. He stood 6 feet 6 inches tall and weighed approximately 275 pounds, making him an imposing figure in the ring. Known for his combination of power and agility, Awesome's athleticism set him apart from many of his contemporaries. Awesome began his wrestling career in the early 1990s, quickly gaining attention for his high-flying moves and impressive strength. He became a key figure in ECW, where he achieved significant success, including winning the ECW World Heavyweight Championship twice. His signature move, the Awesome Bomb, demonstrated his extraordinary power and solidified his status as a top performer in the company. Throughout his time in ECW, he engaged in memorable rivalries with other notable wrestlers such as Taz and Rob Van Dam, RVD, delivering high-energy matches that thrilled audiences and earned him a loyal fan following. In 2001, Mike Awesome made the transition to World Championship Wrestling, WCW, where he briefly joined the New Blood faction. Although his time in WCW was short, he continued to build his reputation in the industry. Mike Awesome's life and career were tragically cut short when he passed away at the age of 37 in an apparent suicide. His untimely death shocked the wrestling world, but his legacy as a skilled athlete and charismatic performer lives on. Awesome's contributions to the sport, particularly his daring in-ring style and iconic matches, continue to be remembered by fans and wrestlers alike, securing his place in professional wrestling history. Lance Cade, born on March 2, 1981 in Pinehurst, Texas, was a highly skilled professional wrestler, renowned for his remarkable in-ring abilities and dynamic presence. He embarked on his wrestling career in the early 2000s, quickly earning recognition for his athleticism and unwavering commitment to the craft. Cade received training at the prestigious Hart Dungeon in Calgary, Canada, where he refined his technical skills alongside several future wrestling stars. His early career saw him competing in various independent promotions, where he gained valuable experience and built a reputation as a promising talent. In 2003, he signed with World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, where his career flourished. Cade became widely known as a tag team wrestler, most notably pairing with Trevor Murdoch. The duo captured the World Tag Team Championship, gaining popularity for their compelling chemistry and engaging matchups. Cade's wrestling style was a blend of technical expertise and high-flying maneuvers, which enabled him to engage audiences and demonstrate his versatility as a performer. Following his departure from WWE, Cade continued to compete on the independent circuit, where he maintained a loyal fan base. Despite his success in the ring, he faced significant personal challenges, including struggles with addiction, which eventually impacted both his career and personal life. Tragically, Lance Cade passed away at the young age of 29. His untimely death marked the end of a promising career in professional wrestling. Cade's legacy is defined not only by his in-ring accomplishments, but also by the enduring impact he had on fans and fellow wrestlers alike. His story serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities of the wrestling industry, where both triumphs and personal battles can shape the lives of those involved. A.J. Lee, born April Jeanette Mendez on March 19, 1987 in Union City, New Jersey, is widely regarded as one of the most influential figures in the history of women's wrestling. While her career in WWE lasted from 2010 to 2015, her impact on the wrestling world cannot be overstated. A.J. Lee was more than just a wrestler. She was a transformative figure who played a pivotal role in changing how women in wrestling were viewed, allowing them to step out of the shadows and into the spotlight. Through her fierce in-ring ability, undeniable charisma, and candid personality, AJ helped to lead what would come to be known as the Women's Revolution in WWE. Although her tenure in WWE was relatively short compared to many of her peers, AJ Lee's contributions were monumental. She rose to fame not only for her wrestling skills, but also for her distinct mic work, combining her sharp wit with an engaging persona. AJ's legacy is defined by how she pushed boundaries, took control of her own narrative, and helped elevate the women's division, transforming it from a secondary attraction to a key focal point of WWE programming. AJ Lee's departure, health and mental well-being. AJ Lee's abrupt departure from WWE in 2015 shocked fans and left a noticeable gap in the women's division. While the physical toll from years of high-impact wrestling was undoubtedly a major factor, AJ's departure was also influenced by deeper personal struggles, particularly her ongoing battle with mental health. AJ had long dealt with chronic back pain, a condition exacerbated by the physically demanding nature of professional wrestling. The cumulative effect of this pain, paired with the grueling WWE schedule, forced AJ to make a difficult decision to step away from the ring and prioritize her health. But physical health wasn't her only concern. AJ had openly discussed her struggles with bipolar disorder, a condition that she had been managing during her wrestling career. In her memoir, Crazy Is My Superpower, AJ shared her experiences, shedding light on the often overlooked issue of mental health in the world of professional sports. Living under the public microscope while dealing with mental health challenges was an incredibly difficult balancing act. The immense pressure to perform, especially in a world where athletes are expected to be invincible, compounded her personal battles. AJ's decision to leave WWE was ultimately a necessary step for her well-being. Rather than succumb to the pressures of an industry that demands perfection, AJ took control of her narrative by acknowledging her need to heal both mentally and physically. This decision was not a retreat, but rather a powerful example of self-care and prioritizing one's own mental health over external expectations. AJ Lee's advocacy and literary contributions. Since her departure from WWE, AJ Lee has shifted her focus toward advocacy and sharing her experiences in a way that would resonate with many. Her memoir, Crazy Is My Superpower, was a New York Times bestseller and a critical success, offering a raw and personal look at her life, career, and mental health journey. In the book, AJ candidly discusses her struggles, both physical and mental, showing that even those who seem strong and invincible on the outside can experience vulnerability. By doing so, she helped to destigmatize mental illness, especially within the wrestling world, where the expectation for athletes to remain impervious to pain and weakness is often overwhelming. In addition to her memoir, AJ has become an advocate for mental health awareness, using her platform to encourage others to speak openly about their struggles. Her efforts to break the silence around mental health, particularly within professional sports, have resonated with fans and athletes alike. Her advocacy has sparked important conversations, not just about physical injuries, but also about the emotional and psychological toll that fame, high expectations, and the pressure to perform can have on individuals. AJ's voice has extended beyond mental health to encompass self-empowerment and well-being, addressing important issues such as body positivity and overcoming self-doubt. She has used her story to inspire others to seek help, embrace vulnerability, and break free from the stigmas that so often hold people back from seeking support. The rumor mill: AJ Lee's potential return to WWE. Despite having been away from the ring for nearly a decade, AJ Lee's name has never fully disappeared from the WWE conversation. Fans and fellow wrestlers alike continue to speculate about the possibility of her return to WWE. Recently, the return of her husband, CM Punk, to WWE has only fueled further rumors about AJ Lee potentially stepping back into the WWE universe. AJ Lee, however, has kept her future plans shrouded in mystery. While she has not confirmed any intentions to return, WWE storylines have occasionally referenced her name, keeping her connection to the promotion alive. Notable exchanges with current superstars such as Bayley, Cora Jade, and Liv Morgan have added fuel to the fire, with fans speculating whether AJ might once again grace the ring or appear in a different capacity. What remains undeniable is that AJ Lee left an indelible mark on WWE. Her departure did not diminish her influence. If anything, it has only amplified her legacy. As rumors continue to swirl, one question lingers. If AJ Lee were to return, how would WWE integrate her back into the storylines? A non-wrestling role for AJ Lee: managing CM Punk. If AJ Lee does decide to return to WWE, many fans and analysts believe that a role outside of in-ring competition might be the most viable option. Given her history and her personal health struggles, a managerial role, especially in connection with her husband CM Punk, could be an ideal scenario for her return. Managing Punk could provide AJ with the opportunity to be involved in WWE programming without the physical strain of wrestling. As Punk's manager, AJ could utilize her unmatched mic skills and compelling personality to amplify his already larger-than-life persona. The chemistry between the two, both as a married couple in real life and as on-screen personalities, would undoubtedly create captivating television. Their interactions, fueled by both personal connection and professional rivalry, could add a new dynamic to WWE storylines, creating compelling narratives and emotional stakes for fans. Moreover, AJ's natural ability to generate heat and her sharp delivery on the microphone could elevate Punk's character and intensify his rivalries. In this role, AJ would not only be able to add depth to Punk's story, but could also introduce fresh storylines for WWE's evolving roster of talent. Challenges to AJ Lee's return: health, mental well-being, and ring rust. While the idea of AJ Lee's return to WWE is exciting for many, there are several hurdles to overcome. The primary concern remains her health. Her chronic back issues have been a long-standing problem, and even a non-wrestling role may carry physical risks. Any return to WWE would require her to carefully manage these injuries, especially with the rigorous travel schedule that WWE superstars face. Equally important is AJ's mental well-being. Wrestling, particularly with the intensity of WWE's live events and media attention, can be mentally taxing. AJ has always emphasized the importance of mental health, and any decision regarding her return would need to take this into account. The pressures of being in the WWE spotlight could reignite some of the struggles she faced earlier in her career, and thus, any return would need to prioritize her mental health. Another consideration is ring rust. After nearly a decade away from the squared circle, AJ would likely need to undergo extensive training to regain her physical conditioning and in-ring skills. While she is undoubtedly talented, the toll of time away from active competition would require considerable effort to return to the physical shape required for WWE's high standards. AJ Lee's legacy, more than just a wrestler. Regardless of what the future holds, one thing is clear. AJ Lee's legacy in professional wrestling is already cemented. She was one of the first women to truly challenge and redefine the role of female wrestlers in WWE. Her reign as Divas Champion was historic, and her contributions to the women's revolution in WWE cannot be overstated. AJ Lee proved that women were capable of headlining, stealing the show, and being just as compelling and talented as their male counterparts. However, AJ Lee's legacy extends far beyond wrestling. Her openness about her mental health struggles, her advocacy for mental health awareness, and her powerful literary contributions have made her an icon in both the wrestling world and beyond. She has shown that true strength lies not in hiding vulnerability, but in embracing it, seeking help when necessary, and using one's voice to help others. What the future holds. AJ Lee's impact on WWE and beyond. If AJ Lee returns to WWE, it is likely that she will do so in a way that allows her to maintain her physical and mental health. A role as a manager or in a non-wrestling capacity could allow her to re-enter WWE while mitigating the risks associated with active competition. Whether or not she returns to the ring, AJ Lee's legacy will continue to inspire generations of fans and wrestlers alike. AJ Lee has already changed the landscape of WWE for women, and her advocacy work has helped spark a larger conversation about mental health. Whether she chooses to return to WWE or continue her advocacy work outside of the ring, her contributions will continue to influence the world of professional wrestling and beyond. AJ Lee may have left the ring, but her legacy lives on, and her story will remain a source of inspiration for years to come.